We'll cover each of these, focused concentration, resilience, and integrity, in depth, but the key point here is that each of these cornerstones is cultivated only through the practice of the 6 principles of building your ambition. The 6 principles, worked on consistently and simultaneously, will develop these 3 traits in your character. Here's number 1, concentration. Focused concentration. We talked about this in time management, but the key to building your ambition, keeping on track with all of the principles, is focused concentration. You've just got to zero in. You've got to identify your target and let nothing stand in your way. You've got to keep your eye on the target until you've released the arrow. Let nothing capture your attention unless it's in the best interest of your ambition. Let not an obstacle come before you without getting around it, going over it, going under it, trying a different path until you get there. Concentration in sports is crucial. The consummate professional on the field or on the court won't hear the jeering of the crowd. Their concentration keeps all noise and clutter at bay. They have one thing in mind, and that's moving the ball. You have to have just one thing in mind, keeping on track, closing out all the noise and the clutter that gets in your way, going around all the obstacles of negativity and influence. In a tennis match, how long does it take for your opponent to return the ball? Not very long. And what if you lose your concentration? Game's over. One little slip of concentration, just that fast, one little slip of concentration. Your opponent puts the ball by your feet, and there goes the tennis match. In a major presentation, just lose your concentration for a flash of a second, and I'm telling you, you could lose it all. All the hard work, all the long hours, all the preparation, all the momentum building to that crucial presentation could be gone if you don't keep your concentration. If you don't watch your audience, if you don't keep your mind on what you're doing, if you don't keep focused on the task at hand, it could slip right on by you. Wherever you are, be there. Whatever you're supposed to be doing for the moment, do it. You can't be thinking of everything you have to do at one time. All the time. You have to concentrate on just one thing at a time. One project, one job. You have to take it one task at a time and complete it. Do what you've set out to do. Keep your mind only on that one task. Why? If you don't, you won't accomplish anything. Concentration takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of discipline to demand privacy, to keep the do not disturb sign on your door while you're in the middle of an important job. It takes a lot of discipline not to answer the phone every time it rings at home. That's why they make voicemail and answering machines, so you don't have to answer the phone every time it rings. Your family will appreciate an uninterrupted dinner hour. Your night work will get done a whole lot faster. Concentrate on the work at hand, and demand of yourself the discipline to stay focused. If you have a long list of things to get done within a day, do the toughest ones while your concentration is at its peak. If you're a morning person, get the job done in the morning. Don't wait until the evening when your energy is all spent. No, do the jobs that need the most concentration when your body is best able to handle them. If you're a night person, save those tough jobs for the night, not in the morning when you've still got cobwebs in your brain. Learn your body's rhythms and do the jobs that need the most concentration when you're able to do them best. When you're at work, be at work. When you're in a conference, be in that conference. When you're at your kid's school play or soccer game or dance recital, be there. Don't let your mind wander. Stay focused. Stay focused on the task at hand or the company you're with. Don't let your mind wander during conversations. You never know what important points you'll miss. Stay focused. Stay true to where you are and what you're doing. Use your discipline to keep your mind in line. When you recognize the need to concentrate more, when you recognize this need, and when you discipline yourself to stay focused, it will come easier and easier. Focused concentration can be learned. Focused concentration can become a habit. If you work on it a little every day, the easier it comes, the less energy you'll waste on making your mind you. Number one cornerstone of an ambitious person: concentration. Focused concentration. Make your mind pay attention. Discipline yourself to be where you are. Work at work and play at play. Don't mix the two. Concentrate. Give your job the attention it deserves. Give your family the attention they deserve. Give your colleagues the attention they deserve. Wherever you are, be there. Concentrate. That's number one. Here's number two: resilience. Resilience, the ability to return to the original form after being bent or being stretched or being compressed. That's the dictionary's definition of resilience. The ability to readily recover from illness or depression or adversity. Resilience, being able to withstand setbacks, broken hearts and broken dreams, financial crisis, loss of loved ones, loss of enterprise, and loss of health. How would you ever handle it if you lost everything you had today? What would your next step be? How long would you be depressed and upset and angry? What would it take for you to pull yourself up and start all over again? How resilient are you? Could you handle it? Could you learn from all your disappointments and start all over again? What would it take? Well, number one, it would take a lot of self-discipline. It would take a lot of positive self-talk to muster up the energy to begin again. It would take a lot of concentration to block out the noise and the clutter of all the negative voices trying to get through, your negative voices, and the negative voices of others around you. It would take a lot of discipline to balance the fear and anxiety with the knowing that if you did it once, you can do it all over again. It would also take what? A lot of self-reliance. Whether your losses had anything to do with you or not, your future success has everything to do with you. It would take a lot of self-reliance to avoid blame. What's happened has happened. You would need to get on with your life and begin again. It would take a lot of faith. It would take a lot of faith and trust in God to move ahead. If you lost everything tomorrow and were gathering all the courage to try again, it would take a lot of self-appreciation, knowing that you have the skills and the talent and the strength to do it one more time. Resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity, no matter how large or how small. You lose a client, one of your biggest ones, accounts for over 25% of your gross revenues. Losing this client is going to hurt financially and emotionally. Losing this client is going to negatively affect things for a while. The first thing you do is to figure out why you lost this business. What role did you play? What part are you responsible for? You just can't rant and rave around the office yelling and screaming at those around you. Even if it was the wrongdoing of someone else, you can't act like this. It's not professional. No, you'll lose respect. Respect that's hard to regain once you've lost it. Respect of those you work with, trusted colleagues, valuable support people. You have to approach the situation rationally and figure out how to bounce back from your loss. You have to evaluate the situation and then start a plan to recapture the lost business. Increase your market share with other businesses. Network with associates to bring in a similar client or a larger one. You can't sit back and dwell on what's happened. No, you've got to get back into the marketplace and recapture what's been taken from you. Get back at it and replace what's gone. Now maybe your loss is a personal loss. Death of a loved one, divorce, loss of a very special friendship, If your loss is a deeply personal one, you must approach the situation a little differently. You must be patient with yourself and give yourself time. Time to grieve, time to mourn, time to regroup. The stages we go through in loss, be it death of a loved one, death of a relationship, or death of an enterprise, the stages we go through are beautifully defined in Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's book, On Death and Dying. If the death is a literal one or a figurative one, the stages are the same. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And only by going through these stages and reaching acceptance can we rebound and begin again. It's said that children are often more resilient than adults. Why? Well, maybe it's because they don't evaluate their current situations based on past experiences. They approach it in a fresh way, a new way. And in their own minds, they deal with loss much better than adults. Children who grow up in the unfortunate circumstances of poverty or abuse or neglect, children who grow up in these conditions and become successful, are known as dandelion children. Because if they can succeed and prosper with terrible conditions, they can grow anywhere. It's important to be more like a dandelion child, to be able to grow and prosper and succeed despite our current conditions, to be able to grow and prosper and succeed despite our losses, to be resilient. Cultivating a resilient character turns what others would call failure into success. A resilient person won't give up. A resilient person will, in spite of all obstacles and setbacks, keep doing it until. In their book, The Resilient Self, Stephen and Sybil Wolin have studied the characteristics of resilience and have found 7 key skills which comprise it. To build a resilient character, you must have, number 1, insight. The ability to ask tough questions of yourself and be honest with your answers. If you had something to do with your loss, be honest and responsible for it. Number 2, resilience is independent. A resilient person counts only on themselves to bounce back into life. Number 3, although resilience is independent, it's also tied to others. The more people you are responsible to, the greater the motivation to begin again. The stronger the reason, the stronger the action. The 4th component of resilience is initiative. The ability to take charge of the situation, the ability to take charge of the problem, the ability to stand up and do whatever is necessary to get back on course. A resilient person is, number 5, creative. Being able to look at the situation and creatively determine the best way out, to look for solutions, to be enterprising in your approach towards starting over. A resilient person has humor. Number 6, a sense of humor. They may cry till they start laughing, but a sense of humor is so important when turning your life around. You've got to take your ambition seriously, and you've got to take yourself seriously, but you've also got to be able to laugh at yourself sometimes, your situation. Somebody says, you'll look back on this and laugh someday. Well, maybe today is the day to start. A sense of humor, number 6. And here's the last one, morality. Whatever you do to get back on your feet, whatever you do to bounce back into life, make sure it's moral. Make sure that your upcoming success is at the service of others, not at the expense of others. I have made this point several times during this series, but only because it's so important. Success, if it is yours to keep, must be at the service of others. Number 1 cornerstone for an ambitious life is concentration. Number 2, resilience. And here's number 3, integrity. Integrity is adhering to the moral principles of life. Integrity is doing things with honor. Integrity is honesty. Without integrity, Ambition loses its unifying focus that comes from integrated goals, from really knowing what you want. Integrity says, I wish to pay fair price for all value. Getting something for nothing makes nothing of me. Getting it cheap makes me cheap. Truly, in your own enlightened self-interest, this is one of the better statements. I wish to pay fair price for every value. I wish to pay fair price. This is self-interest, and it's also integrity. I wish to pay fair price for every value. Why? For what it will make of me. For what paying for it will make of me. If I have to pay, that will make something of me. And by paying, you have the integrity not to take advantage of others. You hear of greedy people boasting about the great deal they just got, the best value, how they negotiated the price down to nothing, how they nickel and dime the other person out of making a profit. Good integrity won't let you do that. We all shop for the greatest value at the best price, but not at the expense of others. Not when your great deal cheated someone out of their profit. You hire someone to do a job for you. Take on a project. You've got to pay fair price, fair value for someone else to do the work for you, because if you don't, what? They'll never work for you again. They don't want to work long, hard hours to make you look good and not get compensated for it. No, and your integrity won't allow that to happen. Pay an honest price for an honest value. Make it good for everybody involved. Leave a profit. Don't be cheap, be fair. It's your integrity that's on the line, not just a few bucks. Your integrity. If I want something badly enough, I have to earn it. If I want something badly enough, I have to pay for it. Why? Because of what paying for it will make of me. And if I wish to have more, I must become more. I must earn more. And how much should you earn? As much as you possibly can. You must always strive to do all you possibly can. The essence of life is growth. Doing, becoming, striving, growing, achieving. Be like the tree that grows as high as it can. Be like the bird that soars as high as it can. Be like the flowers that bloom as much as they can. Whatever course you set your sail to, do as much as you can to get there. It's part of integrity. Honestly doing all you can in pursuit of what you want, in pursuit of what you'll become. And whatever you sign up for, finish it. Here's a great story about integrity. The Apostle Paul, this great man, said, I'm about to go, and here's the reputation I want when I'm gone. Here's what I want people to say about me. He said 3 things, and here's number 1. I fought a good fight. Let that be your reputation. You fought a good fight. You kept out the ideology that wanted to capture your children, threatened every enemy that ever threatened you, fought like a parent protecting children in the home front. Let that be your reputation. You fought a good fight. And whether or not you won, at least let your reputation be that you fought a good fight. Fought for your rights, fought for the game. You fought for your integrity. You fought for honesty. You fought for success. You didn't leave any energy unspent. You fought. The major key to have success of any kind, you've got to leave this reputation behind. I've fought a good fight. Wow. And here's the second thing Apostle Paul said. Number 2, I finished the task. I stayed until it was done. They gave me a task, and I finished it. I didn't leave it half done. I never walked off the court in the 3rd quarter. I stayed. I finished it. What a good reputation. Finish it. Finish your assignment. Finish the project. Finish the contract. Finish it. Finish whatever you've signed up for. Then number 3, here's what he said. I kept the faith. Boy, that's important. Keep faith with your family. Keep faith with your church. Keep faith with your enterprise. The group I belong to, we pledge our faith, our unwavering confidence in each other. Each of us pledge that to all of us. And I wish for you to be in a group that has so much integrity. You want to be involved with people who pledge and keep your confidences. Allstate says you're in good hands. That should be the reputation of all of us. Develop the reputation of good hands so that no matter where you go, you will represent your family well, represent your company well, have integrity, honesty, success at the service of others, not at the expense of others. And at the end of the road, don't you want to be able to say, I fought a good fight, I finished the job, and I kept the faith? Of course you do. And that last part, keeping the faith, is not that easy. What is the master prayer? Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Help us keep integrity in spite of the evil, in spite of going through the valley of the shadow of darkness, that we will not fear that evil will dislodge us from our integrity. Keep the faith of the office. Keep the faith of the company. Keep the faith of the family, of your spouse and of your children. Keep the faith of the church. Keep the faith of the community. Wherever you go, represent your family well. Wherever you go, represent your group well. Wherever you go, represent your colleagues well. Let part of the bond of friendship be that wherever each of you are, each of you will represent all of you well. Wow, what a thing to be able to say. I fought a good fight, I finished the course, and I kept the faith. And here's how he wrapped it up. Apostle Paul said, I understand now there's a crown waiting for me, and I deserve it. Isn't that great to say? I hear they have a trophy for me, and guess what? I deserve it. What a magnificent story to leave behind. I fought a good fight, I finished the job, I kept the faith, and I deserve the crown. Unbelievable. Now others around you, others you associate with, may not have the ambition or the integrity to leave such a legacy behind. But guess what? Let other people lead small lives, but not you. In the challenge of building your ambition, and stepping up to the opportunity of giving someone else light and direction and refinement of thought and character, in all of this, let everybody else lead small lives, but not you. Let everybody else cry over small hurts, but not you. Let everybody else argue over non-essentials, but not you. Deal in things that matter, the larger challenge, the larger opportunity. Go for the challenge and the responsibility of being the absolute best you can, of doing your best, of creating your best, of being the best person, the best friend, the best spouse, the best parent, the best colleague. As you begin to understand and apply all of the principles in building your ambition, remember, ambition is an eager desire to achieve. To be successful at the service of others, not at the expense of others. An eager desire to get ahead in life, to do more for your family, to prosper in health and wealth and relationships. As you're building your ambition, inspiring and fueling your achievement, when you realize that you are more than your ambition, when you let your ambition serve you, you will develop greater concentration, greater resilience, greater integrity. These three aspects will inspire more ambition, ambition that stems from the need to be true and to express your innermost self. And with focused concentration, resilience, and integrity in our character on our side, working for us, we're constantly inspiring the ambitious part of our nature to reach to greater and greater heights. One of the most challenging experiences in life is seeing what you can do to help someone else. And one of the greatest thrills in life is being able to invest life into life. You've given me that opportunity in this program on the power of ambition, and I want to thank you for that. I've invested a bit of my life into your life, and I consider it time worth taking. I want to thank you for this chance and this opportunity. I wish for you the ultimate understanding of your own power. I wish for you heightened ambition. I wish for you achievement. I wish for you influence. I wish for you treasures of the soul and of the spirit and of the mind and of the wallet. And hopefully, what I have shared with you has given you extra perception in sharpening your skills and making your life unique. Let your ambition serve you. Let your ambition lead you to greatness. Let your ambition allow you to go and touch somebody else.